stick, and it's not really satisfactory to patch it up after you get a blob of gold. So you can always scratch off excess gold. The accuracy you can't add it on if you miss it out. So if in doubt, go over the line a bit. And as I said to you before with applying the other things, you need to look at it in different lights, get the reflection, so you're absolutely sure you've not missed anything. It's shiny, so it's easy to tell where you've missed. So I just put it on like this, looking down. I've got no idea where I've gone, other than logic is. And then I'll spread it out, and then I'll look at it in raking light to see where I've gone. So now, raking light. See, I missed a bit there. So spread it out really thinly. You really don't rush it, but on the other hand, you don't want to go too slowly because it will, because it's so thin, it will tend to start to stiffen up within probably about 2 minutes.
So what's in the size? What makes
It's
it?
basically linseed oil
Linseed,
with a dryer, which is a chemical that makes it oxidise and cross-link. Basically, it's an oil varnish.
I thought linseed was a dry oil.
So it's difficult to explain sort of verbally how much to spread it out. Basically, you spread it out as much as you possibly can. So I'm only dipping the brush in probably about 3 centimetres, 3 millimetres, 4 millimetres.
So just the edge.
But you're going over again with the brush, and that's okay when you spread it out.
Yeah, I mean you've got about a minute or two to go over and then stop. So you've got to do this to spread it out thinly.
Do it really thinly.
Really thin. The thinner the better, basically. The thinner you can get it, the better the result will be. Now, when you've reloaded the brush, you don't put it on top of what you just put it. Put it on a naked part, then you can spread it out. If you put it on top of an area you've just gilded and then spread out, you're going to have too much where you dropped it. So.
Okay, we have a message from Thecla. She's been totally dropped out. She was fine in the lecture, but it's totally disappeared.
I think it keeps connecting and disconnecting.
It is. It's the Wi-Fi
Yeah.
here.
Okay.
Is pretty cool.
But with the 12 hours, I found some thinly parts, they dry quicker, and then the problem gold wouldn't stick in some bits.
Yes.
Yes, what?
If you have a you've got a problem with stimulus, I think. Yeah, if you've got sort of a attenuated triangle, for example, obviously the thin point is going to dry more quickly than the fat point. So, well, yeah, bad luck here. You can't, because you've got to wait until the bulk is just right, and it might be that the tips won't be right when the bulk is right, so I don't know what to do there. That's why I stopped using oil gilding for a cease, because when the fatter parts are right, the tip was too hard and didn't glue, whereas when the tip was right, the fat parts were too sticky and too gooey.
So how would you fault the oil gilding?
Well, you just repeat the process just for that area, but because the size has got a bit of thickness to it, it's always going to look like a patch.
Yeah.
So you can't fault it. You can fault, but it's not going to look.
Can you double gild?
Well, yeah, the best thing is just to let the whole up dry completely, which might take about 5 days. And then probably the best thing is to put a layer of shellac over and then re-gild.
Okay.
If you try to re-gild too soon, while the oil size underneath is still, just see, I can't miss that.
So if you were...
If you try to re-gild too soon when the oil underneath is not quite set, then you could reactivate it.
Yeah.
So that's why leave it a while, and also put a very thin layer of varnish of shellac to isolate it.
So if you're double gilding oil, you wait 5 days and then you shellac and size again.
Yeah. But don't work on the assumption you're going to double gild, really.
No,
Only
yeah.
double gilding if you've not done it well.
Are you going over it again?
No.
or
I
just
think no, I'm not.
bits-
Only
bits
just
of-
because there was one thing behind
Good.
this.
Okay, we get something from Jessica.
So just do a final look around. You really need to be
Okay, she's coming back in
methodical
5 minutes.
so that you don't have to go back. As soon as you go back, then it's not going to be quite as smooth. Because even after a minute, I noticed that it's really dry here. It's going stiff in about a minute. So you do need to work methodically. Don't rush and keep looking at it in angles so you can see where you haven't grasped and you can go over it immediately rather than discover 5 minutes later you're this time. But you must keep calm. Some of you are getting a bit worked up and making mistakes. So hasten slowly, keep calm. Know in your mind exactly what you're going to do. All right? You know, what's important, calm yourself and think, right, don't dip it in much, spread it out, and make sure each area is done is right, perfect, and then carry on. Dip it in. Don't dip it on top you've just painted. Touch the panel where there is no size, spread it out, look in the reflection, make sure it's all right, then carry on like that. Because that's a bit of a skill to do, that's going to be nice, because it is setting
Yeah,
quite quickly.
I think it's very essential to put equal amount. If you kind of thicker and thinner, that's it.
It's more difficult, yeah.
And don't wear a really fluffy jumper.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
okay, something else good. So I'll put that, we need a table clear to put these, well, we can put them underneath. I'll put them over here, the cases. So
Yeah.
when you're finished, hand them to someone and put them in the cases here. Could you hand me the
So-
two cases?
Yeah, so